He just hurled the bag, went over everyone, just landed on the ground, medication. What is up, everybody? This is Almost Apple here with DE Studios, and today I'm joined by
Dusty Novels
and Felt Soul.
And we're going to bring you our first live-action episode of Why Do I Work Here? Sorry for the delay. I know it's been a few months since we dropped our last one. Work's been a little hectic.
moving into a new place,
Setting up the cameras, testing all this stuff. Novel's got it figured out. He's been putting out some live action on Diverse Gaming, our subsidiary of DE Studios.
Thank you.
And this is going to be the first segment for Diverse Comedy. We're kind of working out the details on the rest of the content. I am forefronting Diverse Comedy. It's going to be a lot of rant humor, live action based humor, skit comedy, things of that nature. So stay tuned, subscribe, like this video if you like what you see so you can keep on being entertained. For those of you who are familiar with Why Do I Work Here? You know that this is the part where we all take stories from our past work experiences and we pretty much convey how horrible the situation was to you guys. And if you have your own story to tell, make sure you drop it at contactdestudios@gmail.com. You never know, your story might get read aloud online.
Or at the very least, just drop it in the comment section so we can have a conversation about it.
My story is going to be called The Great T-Bone Thief. And this story takes place way before I was ever even thought to be in management. It was when I first started the job I am currently at. I was still a line cook. So, when you work, really almost, I guess, any job is susceptible to theft. And, you know, any of your coworkers, any member of your staff could potentially be stealing from the company.
Which is every job.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure something has been stolen in every line of work. Like, there probably doesn't exist a line of work where nothing has been stolen, you know. You hear something got stolen out of evidence, lock up as a police officer, you know, construction tools get stolen at construction sites, you know.
Office supplies all the time.
Office supplies.
All the time.
Is that even theft, really?
No.
Like, are they going to audit you for one rubber band? Like,
or 10,000
those rubber bands on my desk, Jonathan. Those are, need to get that out of that paycheck.
I used them all.
So I'm pretty sure that every line of work sees its fair share of theft or something along those lines, borrowing without permission, whatnot. In the restaurant industry, however, unlike office work or construction, the lines are a little less gray. Like, you know, if you take food home that you didn't pay for, bam, point blank period, wrong. You take money that wasn't yours, bam, point blank period. You know, it's not like I took a pen out of the office, you know.
Yeah.
So, all the time, my first GM that I worked under, every time we would go to leave at the end of our shift, you know, he'd always check us out, make sure our work was good, and he'd pat us on the back, like, kind of low, like, almost inappropriately low. And we all never really understood why he did it.
Oh.
And one day, you know, because I'm the kind of person, I don't like touching people. You know, I mean, I know I just touched felt, but I don't like people touching me. I don't like to touch people. So one day, he told me...
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
So one day...
We'll be right back. He needs to go take a shower. In bleach.
So one day, as I was leaving, my boss was actually outside, and he shook my hand and did the whole, you know, like, pat on the side thing. And I was like, you know, Mo... You always do that when I leave, and, you know, I've never really said anything, but I just don't really like, you know, I don't like people touching me, you know, I mean, you know, I'm not, like, afraid of homosexual people or anything, it's nothing like that, I don't like physical contact with people that I'm not on, like, a close, personal, I don't know them like that. So, like, you know, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't just go up on the street and start hugging random strangers on a subway train, you know, it's the same principle. And he told me to have a seat, and I was like, oh, shit, I did it. Here it comes. And he proceeded to tell me the story of when he first started working at the restaurant, like 4 years ago, at the time. And there was this one cook who would always volunteer to clean up the freezer. You know, sounds great. An employee who's enthusiastic about their job. They even volunteer to do it. Well, he began to notice over time that his inventory and the sales didn't line up exactly. And, you know, there's like a waste tracking sheet. You know, you make something, you throw it away. You know, it's all tracked. So It wasn't that the food was being made and just being thrown away or whatever. It's just that it just wasn't ever being charged for. It shouldn't have been being made. So he started to do some digging. And back then, they didn't have security cameras in my store. We have security cameras everywhere now. But he said that one day he went to go finish cleaning out the freezer, and it was like the last thing he was doing before he went home. And after he came out of the freezer, he kept his jacket on. And we live in the southeastern region of America. It is very, very hot in the summertime. He kept his jacket on when he came out of the freezer, and he started to walk outside to throw away the boxes and the residue and everything like that he cleaned up out of there. And he met him outside, and they were just talking for a little bit. And he was really hesitant to take off his jacket. And well, anyway, he got the idea to just like politely pat him on the back whenever he went to go leave. So he was like, "All right, man, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow." Pat. When he did that, he said his back and side felt very, very hard. And no, it's not because he worked out. If you work in a restaurant or you work around food, you know that whenever you store frozen product, it has to be hard frozen. It has to be frozen solid. Like if I dropped one of my T-bones on the floor, it would chip the floor tiles because it's frozen solid through. Well, turns out every time he had been cleaning out the freezer, he was lining his pants lining with T-bone steaks and chicken breast and other products. And so he would just have like a Batman utility belt of sirloin. Needless to say, he went to jail, and I learned as to why my manager got a little fresh with everybody every day before they wanted to go home. Questions?
Okay, I guess, sorry. I'm still getting over the fact that he had so many of that particular item.
Yeah.
Was it only T-bones?
No, he said he had stolen chicken. Whenever they confronted him about it, because they obviously caught him red-handed, he admitted to stealing more things. Like we sell T-bone, we sell other kind of like chopped steak, country fried steak. Is a thing that we sell. Philly cheesesteak, stuff like that. Chicken. So he would just line his pants like just all the way around his body, all kinds of different things. So
well, my question, I mean, it's not going to be humorous or funny. Every time I try that, it just never really works. But mine is, how long was this going on before he had found out?
that guy had been working there since before the GM that I had that conversation with had started there. So potentially a really long time.
Okay, and how often did he clean? Like you said, every time he had cleaned, then he took T-bone steaks or whatever else
we
he
reorganized the freezer. We reorganize the walk-in units every time we get a food truck, and we get 2 deliveries a week.
Oh wow!
So you got to do that to make sure you're rotating, keeping the fresh stock up front, making sure everything's labeled, making sure none of the packages are damaged. It's like you do it twice a week. So at least twice a week, this guy was stealing something, more than likely every week, 2 times a week.
Cool.
Did you or the manager at the time ever try to do a count of how much money was lost due to him taking whatever?
When you sit there, it's kind of a grayscale because you can only prove so much of the missing product is because of that. But I mean, you figure our cost. When you go to a restaurant, whatever you're paying for, you assume that whatever you're paying for costs the company half what they're charging you to eat it. That's a really good rule of thumb that I learned working in several different restaurants. If you're paying $38, it costs $15 or less for them to make it. If you're paying $10, it costs that company $5 or less to make it. So you figure the guests come in and they buy a steak for $10. So that means each T-bone is worth about $5. And I think our case of T-bones is $25 for $75. So yeah, that's roughly about keeping up with it. That would be like $4 or whatever a steak, or $3 a steak. So our cost probably a few hundred to $1,000. If it hadn't been going on for like multiple years. If you're thinking about lost profit because the product didn't get sold to a guest, you're sitting there looking at like $5,000-$10,000 if he was taking T-bones. So
damn.
But, yeah, now I know. And, as a GM, I have started doing that.
Did you get the question?
You touch all your employees inappropriately now?
No. I just, like, the back thing or whatever. Because when you touch somebody, you can hear that paper crinkle. Like that plastic is not quiet. It'll.
Do you disguise it as like a good job today?
Yeah, like good job today, or you walk up to somebody like, hey man, good job today, and just pat them.
Nice.
That felt like silverware.
Empty your pocket. That felt like silverware. Give me the spoons.
All right.
Novels. I think you were next.
Yes, I am. All right. What's up, everybody? So my story today is going to revolve around pharmacy work. Like all my stories, it's pretty much all I've been in. Yes. I was preparing for you to say something, Apple. And today,
I've been in his restaurant, so like.
Yeah, point taken. So today we're going to go back to the very first pharmacy I worked at, to where I mainly did delivery, but every single day, because I would always finish early. I delivered locally around town, and it was a small local pharmacy, so not really too many stops. So most of the day I actually spent in the pharmacy, like as a cashier or something like that, or as a technician. What? Something to say, Apple?
Oh, we were just agreeing that you finish early.
Shut up. Anyway, damn it.
Camera's laughing at you.
Damn it! Shut up. Just y'all are always so bad whenever I record. Just
I'm
shut
bad
up.
when he records too. We're bad when he records. You guys are just quiet when I record. I don't know why.
Because we don't want to interrupt. I make the video longer than it has to be.
Editing isn't actually that bad. Even
No,
with
it's really not that bad now that I've had a little practice with it.
It's almost the same as doing it with audio, really.
Yeah. So if you've worked in pharmacy for any length of time, and many of us have, as I found out, people getting straight out of high school, you would not believe they just exclusively hire like students or people who just graduated. Anyway, if you've worked in any pharmacies for any length of time, you know that the first of the month and the last of the month are immensely busy, as I imagine it is with many other with businesses.
Government check time.
Yes, exactly, and that's why we kind of get. Well,
and I don't say that to be like profile.
No.
But you can. Anybody who has legitimately worked, I'd assume in retail or a restaurant or I guess pharmacy, which I guess pharmacy would be retail, but you know, don't lie. Like you can just look at the customers and just tell.
Yeah, that's so bad.
What?
No,
it's true.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Walking in a wheelchair, of course he's got the government helping him. What's wrong with you?
Shut up, Phil.
Did I say walking in a wheelchair?
Yes, you said it. Okay.
I don't think he needs whatever you're giving him.
Okay.
I'm going to bed now.
All right. Damn it. So, much like Apple said, a lot of checks roll in, so we get overwhelmed easily. It happens all the time, and usually we can deal with that. But at the pharmacy I worked at, the owner refused, and he had a lot of employees, strangely, for... Sorry.
I bumped you on accident.
Yeah.
My bad.
He had a lot of employees for such a small place, but he refused to bring in more than 2 technicians and more than 1 pharmacist. And this was an issue because normally we would process like 250 to like 380 prescriptions. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but each prescription, roughly, because you have to run it through insurance and all this other kind of crap, can usually take up to like 5-10 minutes a piece. It's very rare that it's super quick. Usually that's like people calling in for basic refills. But basically, for the end of the month or beginning of the month, we would easily double, sometimes triple what we would do normally throughout the day. So it's easy to understand that, we would be a bit on edge just because of the volume. And he also refused to bring in more than 1 cashier. And we had a front desk and we had a drive-thru. This was a problem for me whenever I got back from deliveries. Because at that point, we didn't have anyone at the front desk. It was a technician having to fill all these prescriptions, run out, and then try to help whoever's at the front desk or whoever's at the drive-thru. But when I got back on deliveries that day, or one particular month anyway, I immediately assumed that role, try to help them out. Well,
good man.
Yeah, we tripled our normal orders that day, and it doesn't matter at that point how fast or how good you are with that few amount of people. So we quickly had the drive-thru wrapped around the building onto the road. Parking lot was full. The parking lot next, across the street, was being used for our customers. Okay? And it's never just someone coming in with 1 prescription. That's something, just never assume that. It's usually like 2 or 3, and some people are like 8 or 10.
Have you ever been to a doctor's office? Like, they don't just prescribe you one thing.
I know, and trust me.
They give you like a whole medicine cabinet
and trust me,
every time you go for anything.
Here's some steroids, here's an antibiotic, here's for the painkiller. And here's just in case.
Here's a prescription for ibuprofen. Yeah, you could just take Advil, but here, go pay the pharmacy for some extra.
Well, trust me, we don't welcome that. we would like it just to be like 1 or 2. Well, this particular day, like I said, we were pretty stressed. We tripled, and we had a very long line in the main front lobby. And we had a retail department, too. And this became an issue. This was a small place. And we had a lot of clothes, a lot of other miscellaneous crap. So it was filled up relatively quickly. We had this one particular family that was at the very back of everyone else. And they were quite upset that they didn't get their medicine within about 15 minutes. Now, normal wait time is like 7.
I feel you, because there's a 30-minute wait to be sat. Why didn't I get my food in 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not David Blaine.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, because this is a separate channel, please be as liberal with your language as you would, because I don't want my direct content to be censored.
Good. Thank you. That's nice. That's a little piece of information right now.
Try not to drop F-bombs, but...
But yeah, I got you. You can say damn.
Yeah, like I said shit earlier.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Damn it. Where was I again? Okay.
You were saying that
the family
she
that
didn't
was
understand why her 15-minute or less
yes.
policy was not being honored at the moment.
Well, the front line is here, so that makes you the back.
Yeah, pretty much. So she was quite upset that we couldn't get this done in a rather time orderly fashion type deal. Well, that is obviously to be expected when you come in and you see that many people, and she was dead last. We had at least 20. This is just in the front lobby. Ignore the drive-thru. Just ignore that exists. This is just the front lobby. So we hear that all the time, especially at that point in time. Oh, I need my medicine now. I need to go. I have other things to do throughout the day. Yes, we understand that. But you have to understand that we can't just grab it off the shelf and just, here you go. No, there are so many things we have to do.
The thing about that is like, I couldn't have done it because I'd have just been like, you have stuff you have to do now? So that's the thing about a pharmacy.
You
can tell us that you need it, and you leave. You don't have to supervise us.
Yeah.
We'll do it, and then you come back after you've done your stuff.
Yeah. So
and it'll be done.
So it's not uncommon, like I said, to get that complaint, and that's fine. We kind of brush it off. We say, the generic, "I'm so sorry, ma'am, for the wait. We'll try to get to you as fast as we can." Just recycle that a few times. Well, this person started to make a scene, yelling, screaming throughout the pharmacy, and the 20+ people that were ahead of her, they didn't like this. We didn't like hearing this, if we could hear anything at that point, for other people yelling at us. So it got frosty, to say the very least. And our employees, what's up?
When you say something's frosty, that term means that everything's calm and chill.
So, oh, really?
Yeah, so actually, I don't think that's what you mean to say there. Yeah, like, if you say stay frosty, that means, like, stay chill.
Yeah, that's military jargon, man. I don't know if that term exactly applies to civilian life. I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, when I think of something
tense. I'll just say it got tense. All right.
There you go.
So, needless to say, things...
Got toasty.
Okay, toasty. Or it got tense in the pharmacy. It got to the point to where...
Sorry.
It got to the point to where the pharmacist that I worked with that day is a very chill person. He's very frosty. Sorry, I had to say that, man.
He's looking into the cup isn't going to fill it back up.
I know.
Y'all are so distracting.
I'm sorry, carry on.
So the pharmacist I worked with that day, incredibly calm, chill, under normal and even pretty heavy circumstances. But you could tell when he's really quiet, just leave him alone. When is this going to be done? When is this going to be done? Just stop.
When my face turns red and I get really quiet, leave me alone.
So this began to happen, and the technicians, I knew not to bother him. He was going as fast as he could to get this out safely, to not make any mess-ups, because clearly you can give someone else the wrong prescription, the wrong medicine, and, well, I don't need to go into detail how that would be a bad thing. So this got into so much of a problem with her screaming, and she spouted off some...
I'm sorry. Grandma, are you okay? What happened? We just gave her blood pressure medicine.
So it got to the point to where the lady stopped just screaming and was spouting a lot of racial nonsense and making us to be really bad people for making her wait. Now, granted, just to put this in perspective, this all happened in a span of about like 35 minutes, and that's with her giving us her order. That's not really that bad time, and we were actually almost done with her, mainly because we prioritized her because of all the noise she was making. So I guess she got her way in that regard, but not exactly in this one. So the pharmacist, after just completely having enough and having to deal with so many problems, insurance, doctors, just so forth, with all the people just staring at him to get the medication done, he grabbed the medication. He did put it in a bag. He didn't staple the bag, but he did put it in the bag, and he hurled it across the entire pharmacy where she was located, which was like at the door. He just hurled the bag, went over everyone, was laying on the ground, medication. It didn't really go everywhere, but the bottle sure as hell just went somewhere because it didn't stay in the bag. Lady was beyond pissed at that point. He didn't care and just pretty much told her to get the hell out and find somewhere else, and that we would happily transfer her information, her medication, to another pharmacy of her choice. And I had seen so many things, but I had never seen him lose his cool, especially to the point of just throwing medication throughout the entire store to get to this lady. And I was, needless to say, just in shock and awe, as well as the technicians, the customers. But strangely, after she left and after it was done, the day was relatively smooth. Got everyone out. No one complained, at least in the pharmacy. After that,
yeah, they didn't want to be the next.
They didn't want to be the next. Yeah, they didn't want to be next. So more or less, it was.
This is bull.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Yes, exactly. So it more or less.
I'm sorry, I just had an image of that pop in my head. Just somebody get mad on something, just get whacked in the face.
Whacked in the head with a pill bottle.
So after that happened, like I said, everything went smooth. The day actually turned out to be pretty good. We were stressed out, but by the end of that, we had something to laugh about. And hopefully you. Question time. Now y'all can talk now. Questions?
Sorry, I about knocked myself out. Fucking ring on my finger. That fucking hurt. I hit myself too damn hard and I have a ring on. Felt, you got any questions?
Yeah. Why's my cup empty?
That's not a valid question, man.
What time of day was this happening? Like, was it toward the end of the day?
Oh yeah, like this was at the end of the day. We actually only had like probably about 40 minutes left because we closed at 6 that day, and we don't. Regardless of the amount of customers, we close pretty quick. Like if it's past like 6:10, 6:15, we're gone.
What was the lady's reaction when he lobbed the medicine towards her?
It was shock at first. I don't think she actually comprehended what just happened.
I don't think she actually understood. Like you know, like that would be like if you went to McDonald's and you got like 10 double cheeseburgers and you're just sitting there at a table and then just all of a sudden like,
yeah,
and you're just kind of like,
huh?
That's pretty much what happened.
What just happened?
But immediately after the shock had wore off, she just
probably like half a second later.
Yeah, pretty much. She lashed out at the pharmacist, and like I said, he did not care after that, and just told her to get the hell on, essentially.
Nice.
So
it's good.
Go Bill.
Yes,
so,
go Bill.
My question is,
I like Bill.
Did you at least tell her to go long?
No. Complete. No, it was a shotgun play.
Okay. Did he hit the spiral on it?
No.
Oh.
Not that good, man. Sorry. Not perfection. I'm just glad he didn't hit anyone else that was in the store. I was amazed that it didn't hit anyone on the way to her. Because she was far, man. And he just, like, stood up halfway, just lobbed it. It was good.
Alright, so, story time. So I was in the middle of, well, first off, let me say that this takes place at the job I'm currently at, which is a delivery driver for a pharmacy. And at the point in time, I was driving to my last stop. And there was a police roadblock on the road, and they were doing just a random ID check, just make sure everybody's driving with a license and they have insurance, blah blah
I
blah.
had that happen last night.
Nice.
I haven't bumped into one of those they used to do those around here all the time. I haven't bumped into one of them in a long time.
Two cities down on that highway. They do it. They do it all the time.
Brent, I got checked, and one of our other coworkers got checked last night.
I've been through probably 4 or 5.
Well, cool. Carry on.
But so I was going through it, and the cops were kind of just waving people on, they weren't really checking IDs really. And I was like, how strange. So, car in front of me went. The car in front of him went. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go too. So I just went through it like normal. Like normal. I mean, there was no cops. They were just all just kind of
He
standing
was
in the
the
middle.
randomly selected guy.
Yeah, I mean, they were all just standing in the middle of the road not doing anything. And so, I just drove through. I made my deliveries at my home. And on the way back through, same thing. Cars were still driving through. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I just I'd drive through it like 3-4 miles an hour. Next thing you know, I just hear, hey, stop that guy! You stop! I'm like, oh, what the heck? What? What? So, of course I slam on brakes. Cop comes running over. And he was just like, driver's license, please?
Sure.
Okay. So I gave him my driver's license. And he disappeared for a few minutes and then came back. Handing my license, thank you, sir. Sorry to stop you abruptly. Okay, no big deal.
Only gave me the scare of my life.
Right? You screaming at the top of your lungs. Next thing you know, every police officer in town was just staring at me.
All 6 of them.
All 2 of them. Small town. But there's more than 2. It was honestly probably six cars there.
See, just what I said. Anyway, carry on.
I will.
I know these things.
So
I was there.
So he kind of looks at me. He goes, "So you're a carrier?" I'm like, and at this point in time,
Carrier.
I
am not an air conditioning company, sir.
I was thinking, no, I don't have an STD. Thank you, though.
well, honestly, right before this, like I have a license, I have a gun
2
permit.
different worlds you and I live in mentally.
So, well, I mean, I have a permit to carry a gun on me. So I at this time
We all do.
like a week prior, I just stopped carrying my guns on me. He's like, "Are you a carrier?" And I was like, "Dang!"
Yes, I do have tetanus.
I was like, "How's this man know I carry?" But I was just like, "What?"
Because it's in your wallet, probably next to where you keep your driver thing.
No, I don't keep it there. It's not visible. I keep it in like a little.
They probably have that on file when they run your driver's license number.
Yeah,
They can
probably.
pull
I
that
mean,
up.
because they check all the time. But so he's like, "Are you a carrier?" I was just like, I'm like, "Dang, how's he know that?" I was like, "Well, no, I mean, I don't really carry anymore. I used to. But how do you know that?" And he was just like, "Huh?" He was like, "No, are you a carrier?" I'm like, "Well, but I can, but I haven't in a while." I mean, he was just like, "Sir, are you a carrier?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, do you mean courier?" He goes, "Yeah, courier." He goes,
Yes.
he goes, "So you're a carrier?" I'm like, "Well, not anymore." He goes, "Sir, can you step out of the car?" I'm like, "Oh my god." He's like, "Can you show me your ID?" I'm like, "Oh Jesus." I was like, "Yeah, here you go." So I hand him my gun permit license. He goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Are you?" So he goes, "Do you have it on you right now?" I'm like, "Oh God." I was like, "I just said no." He goes, "Yeah, okay. Let me run this real quick. I'll be right back." I'm like, "Oh Jesus, Lord help me." So 5 minutes later, he comes by. He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that, sir. Have a good night. Drive safe." He was like, "But you are a courier, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I deliver for a pharmacy." And of course, the minute you say deliver for a pharmacy, he's just like, "Where? When? What do you do? What do you deliver? To where do you deliver?
It happens
Do you
all
have
the time.
do you have any in the car right now?" And then you're stuck there another 15 minutes answering questions because apparently you're shady if you instantly work at a pharmacy.
Every single time I've been pulled over, now usually I get a speeding ticket at the end of it. But he asked that question about what do I do, and I'm like, I'm a courier, because he doesn't. Now he didn't go carrier or courier to be, but he was like, yeah, are you a courier? Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, I do this for a living, and then it goes to this question, to this question. I'm just like, please just give me the ticket and let me go. I have things to curry.
I have things to Tim Curry.
Yep. So yeah, so he eventually let me go, and it was just a massive crap storm of 30 minutes to 40 minutes of my life I'm never getting back. And that's my story.
Carrier.
But at least you.
Yeah, he's like, He's like,
At
"Are you-"
least, at least you have established that you are a carrier and a courier.
Yeah.
You're a carrier
He was
of curated items.
he was just so confused, and I was confused. I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
What do you ask? So,
And then the
so
minute
what,
we both
what are you
established,
actually asking me?
You
So-
carrier. What? Oh.
Oh.
Oh god, I love that. As for questions, my main one is, you said there were like a few cops here. Did any of them come over in this commotion? Because I imagine y'all weren't.
I mean, there wasn't much of a commotion. There was no screaming
Really?
or
Then,
yelling.
sir, get out the car. After,
No. I mean, no, he didn't scream at me. He was like, sir, can you step out of the car? I was like, yeah,
Oh,
sure,
so it wasn't. Sir, you need to step out the car.
No.
And like-
No,
and
it was
his
just like,
buddies didn't
no, it was just like, sir, can you step out of the car? I'm like, oh Jesus. So I mean, I stepped out of the car. I mean, all the other police officers were just kind of sitting at their car, talking or doing whatever.
Not interested in what was going on with you, apparently.
Yeah, there was only like 2 cops actually patrolling the road. You know, one for one side, one for the other side.
How did you get the one cop that couldn't say courier?
I don't know.
I'm sure the other 5
Well,
would have done
in
okay.
all fairness,
yeah, okay, yeah. And around here,
pronunciation is not always everyone's strong suit in this part of the
Are you a
territory.
carrier?
Of what?
I just.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm carrying West Vial right now.
Would you like it, so?
Would you like some Zika?
Would you like some Zika?
Oh God.
I've got something for that also. If you want that, you can have it, and you can have what gets rid of it.
Are you a carrier of drugs?
So my question is, tell me you got the trainee. Like, please, he was the trainee, right? Tell me he didn't look seasoned. You know, like
no,
he didn't have stripes, right?
Thank God he wasn't a seasoned. He was quite
Was
quite
it the
baby
seasoned?
faced.
City or sheriff's?
It was city.
Okay, because
Okay.
I don't think sheriff's deputies have rank, but
No, it was
the city, if they got bars or stripes, like it's like whoa.
But he didn't have squat.
You've gotten pretty far to be
blue shirt, blue
not
pants, and a
making
little
this
blue shirt, blue
distinction.
pants. That was pretty much it, and a little hat. Or actually, it was a big hat, but you know.
Anyway, this has been our first live action episode of Why Do I Work Here, to be posted on our newest subsidiary channel, Diverse Comedy, a section of DE Studios. And I'm AlmostApple, joined by,
Dusty Novels.
And Phelps Soul.
and we'll see you next time.
Hey, I see you stayed for the end card. Well, in that case, you're simply awesome just for that. And if you like this video, which I imagine you do if you stayed this long, how about you like and share and most certainly subscribe so you don't miss out on a single video like this one. That'd be in the bottom right box. Speaking of which, if you want to watch a related video of ours, you can click on the top left box. Or let us suggest one for you, in that case, top right. Or if you just want that little bit of extra in your life and you just want a random one thrown your way, take a risk and click on the bottom left box. From all of us here at the studio, we want to remind you to be heard and stay interactive, and we'll see you next time.